for today, whether there will be the friends or not, we will learn vocabulary and we will learn some functional language and list of gratitude. And here, as we agreed, Rosner, we have the photo, the pictures where Lizzie with a chalk, they wrote a list of gratitude. I see they are grateful for sleeping, for love, for art, for
family, foxes and owls.
Yes, electricity. That's so true. Electricity.
Yeah. Free something trail.
Yeah. Partner, having a partner, my partner, yes. Family.
Graceful aging. Oh yeah.
Oh, turtle. Yeah.
What? Turtles,
Turtle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Electricity up, comfy shoes. Yes. Trees. Running.
Nature and animals. Down, nature and animals.
Yes. Titanium sparks. Sure. Emotional intimacy. Running.
That feelings, running. Yeah. Comfy shoes.
Huh? Comfy shoes. Yeah. I mean, this is so magical. Fresh air, way up on top.
Yes.
Especially when we're not feeling grateful, when we're feeling like, oh, I don't like this, or, oh, that hurts. If we can remember to shift our awareness and start thinking about, okay, so yeah, this is awful what I feel at this point, but what am I grateful for in spite of it? And the amazing thing is that we can only think about one thing at a time. And so when we consciously shift our awareness and start thinking about what I'm grateful for, we can't think anymore about what's making us unhappy. It's amazing. It's miraculous. And it's just, the way the brain was built. We can take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So this is a Thanksgiving tradition where my daughter lives, and on the trail that she hikes on and walks on every day. They started 2 years ago. And she and her friend wrote a whole bunch of things they were grateful for. And then other people came along and the list went on and on and on and on, as it does here. And so last year, and again this year, people around Thanksgiving, which is a time when in the US, we, devote the day to what are you grateful for? And, people like to share what they're grateful for. So this is the third year in a row that a whole bunch of people in this neighborhood in Durham, North Carolina, have written. My daughter just starts out with a couple of words and then leaves a whole bunch of chalk. And people write and write and write and write and write for a week what they're grateful for. And anybody can do that, any place where there's going to be people walking by in any language. If you've got chalk and something to write on, It can be pavement. These are boards, whatever. Just ask, what are you grateful for? Give a couple of examples, leave the chalk, and see what happens.
Yeah.
And anybody who participates, at least while they're writing what they're grateful for, is feeling good.
Well, that's so true, Rosemary, because life, when we get up the morning, sometimes we all know that we are sometimes bothered by something. And the best solution to feel better is to remember all those things that on a daily basis are making us just living, just feeling, just if, because sometimes you just don't think about it, but when we don't have it, it is just nonsense. Life is nonsense. Last time I was home, and that's what I was. Yeah, electricity. So I came home and there was no electricity, and I was just, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't see anything. So it's so
Yeah.
important.
Yes. Hi, Suleiman.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good to see you.
Me also, I'm really happy to be among you.
Good. So what we're talking about, what we're grateful for. I'm grateful that we're together right now among friends. Suleiman, what
Okay.
are you grateful for?
Oh, I didn't have very much. The voice is really mixed. I don't know. Can you repeat it again, please?
What are you grateful for right now?
Okay. For the time being, everything is okay in my side, but I was really busy with the children and with the activities on the garden, but everything is okay. And I'm really happy and say hello to everyone and happy to be among you.
Very good.
Yeah.
Abu, what are you grateful for?
Okay.
I asked Abu.
Yes, I see now.
I don't think he's there.
Yeah, I see the question now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the time being, I'm grateful for what God gave me as healthness. That means I'm going well and I'm feeling well, and what I'm doing for the time being is okay. And how I'm living, I'm grateful for that for the time being.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. These are good things to be grateful for, yes.
Yeah.
And these are expressions of gratitude. These are ideas of what you can say to thank somebody.
So here I want to say to someone or to another that we have to be always grateful if something is good in your sight.
Right.
The pace what we are living, but there are some opposite side that they are living for war and or some things that not okay for their life or for their health. But what you are feeling well for the time being, that is what we are going to be grateful that I want to see.
Okay. Abu, yes.
Yes, sorry, he was out.
Yeah.
What was the question?
What are you grateful for right now?
Right now, I'm grateful for my close friends who are still here to support me, to give me advice. No matter what happens, they are here to support me.
Great. Okay. If the people you're grateful for are right there, what could you say to them from this list?
I can say them thank you for everything that you have done for me.
Okay, that's good.
Yes. And I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate what you've done. Yes. And Abu and Sabrina, I thank you both from the bottom of my heart for your support and your presence here on Living Peace Now and your help with making programs happen.
Well, thank you, Rosemary, for thanking us. And on the behalf of both, Abu can also have a word. I think that we are really thankful for LP Now. That is the space and place where we could gather, because basically, without it, no one could have the chance to know no one. Like, everyone is in a completely different country and sometimes continent. Just think about it. So
Right.
yes, so we are thankful for you to be the leader and the founder of such a space and of such a beautiful connection.
You're welcome. That's what you usually say when somebody thanks you.
True.
You are welcome. So these are ways that you could say thank you to somebody. And you might want to, in terms of learning vocabulary and increasing your vocabulary in English, you might want to write down a couple of these and practice them and use them with somebody.
I have another one to share that is that was basic, but the one that's coming is maybe more specific. People can learn more. Let me do it.
Wow. You are a lifesaver. Yes. You say that when somebody helps you out, when you're feeling like, I need help and I can't get it. I feel all by myself. You might just tell people, you're amazing. Thank you. It meant so much to me when you said,
welcome, Rosemary. I meant it. Well, maybe now what I would like to share with you, apart from this vocabulary and the list of gratitude, which is specific to everyone, is one of the expressions of gratitude is to do an action of gratitude, to do something. So let's brainstorm together. What are the things on a daily basis, simple things, but who can make other people happy, who can make other people feel better? What can we do? Or what have you ever done something and someone was like, oh, that made my day? What was your action?
that made my day. That's a good expression too.
Yeah, let me start with myself. Well, when I was a teenager, I didn't have like, I was a kid and teenager, I didn't have money to buy people presents. I know that we know that presents is also an expression of gratitude, but I didn't have, I was student. So on a daily basis, my mom was was making me happy. I know that she was doing her best to make me happy. So before she comes from work, I was doing some housework, such as setting up the table, or just like go into the kitchen and see what I can do to make her life easier when she comes back from home tired. And believe me, it was really working, and my mom was happy, and like I was seeing this in her eyes. And one day we had a conversation. She said, "That's exactly what made me feel happy with you, because you were always helpful, and your little gestures, such as this, a kiss on a cheek, or just doing things, something at home, make a difference." That's about me. I would like you to share also what you could do, what you did and made your parents or your friends or your partner feel better, as an expression of gratitude, of course.
Uh, Personally,
Yeah.
if I see that you are in need, I don't wait you to come and ask me for something. I prefer to give you what you want, and after that you can come to me and say thank you for what you did, because I didn't ask it. This is what I used to do.
Nice.
Yes.
So who have you done that for?
Uh, I can say for many people, I look at the condition that they are. I know that, for example, if they need something that they cannot afford, I prefer to take some money to give them, or to buy it and give it to them.
Nice.
I didn't give, how can I say it?
Go ahead. We're listening.
Yes, I was saying that I didn't give it to them directly. I would prefer to give it to someone else and say him, let's give this present to this person or to that person.
Nice. So basically, for you, it's been a practice of being aware of what the other person might appreciate at a given moment and just doing it. Yes,
Yes, yes.
that's wonderful. I'm sure that anybody that you treated in this way was grateful for you being there doing what you were doing. That's wonderful. And it's a great way to feel, because, you know, what they say and what's actually true. I mean, there are several sayings, but you need to give to receive. And if you focus on getting and not giving, people aren't going to like you very much. But if you're someone who is helpful to others, they will appreciate you. You know, that's just the way it is. It's part of the way the world works. So, and I'm sure if you know someone who is thoughtful in that way, or if someone in your family or among your friends is thoughtful when you see them, and is aware of how you're feeling and shows it, you appreciate them. You can't help it, because that's what we all need.
Well, here also under our eyes are some tips or some ways also how to think about. We have a guest. Sorry, I will accept Imran. So I don't know if you are used to writing, but if you like writing, it would be helpful also to keep a gratitude journal. Or on like just when you wake up, because you know when we wake up, it's those 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Our moments are free of stress, free of life problems, so we can connect easily to the universe. So you can write what are when you open your eyes, what you can be grateful for. And this makes me think of Mojo when he said one day, when I open my eyes, I am grateful that I am not on a bed in a hospital. I am grateful that I am at home in this bed of mine, which is really true. So just waking up, home is a great thing we can be grateful for. So
Yeah.
as I said, gratitude journal or gratitude notes. Then later in the day, you can take, we always do postings on our Facebook asking you to show appreciation to people around you who you love, because life is just, because at any moment we can lose people. So showing appreciation is so, so important also. I let you carry on from here, Rosary, about the other tip.
Well, Suleiman has his hand up.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So what I said, thanks so much, Sabrina and Rosemary and Abu, for your experiences, and I appreciate it really. So in my side, yeah, I appreciate it really. In my side, it's also the same. For example, the how to help someone for me is really important. That you help the manners, what you are going to do. For example, on my side, so I want help, or if I see someone in need, it can be children or it can be poor person. That means they have nothing, and I know that they have in need. And it is the reason that, for example, my students, there are some who are really poor. The parents have nothing to do and nothing to give or nothing to pay another course in order to help also the students for the high level. And in German, I can buy myself there. And what I do, so I come in need or in to help, please. I come to help, and I try to select this kind of children or people, and I give them, courses not to pay. And that means for me to calm them to help without asking me. That is the best matter for me to help someone. And so if I become to do it, I'm really happy. And a second one is what Sabrina said. Every morning I get up, before moving, I said that God thank. I'm not at hospital. I have something to eat. I can mind. I can say what I'm feeling, but there are some who cannot do this kind of things. And I said, thanks God for giving all these possibilities. And for another people who are helping me, thanks to all of you. Here, Rosemary, Sabrina, Abu, for your helping in order to improve our English and for connecting. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you. Let me connect my laptop. Well, thank you for your participation. We appreciate it a lot. Sharing thoughts and sharing what we feel is amazing. You know, not everyone is able of that, and it's amazing when we can share this on Zoom or other things. The third maybe thing I want also to mention is to think as a process of gratitude, to think about one thing you like about yourself. And here I really do advise you to like things about yourself. And the reason I do advise you to do this, because the most you like thing about yourself, you will be able to accept love from others and to share love with others. It has been proven psychologically that through research that it's important to have this, like, yes, I am good at this, or I am good, I can do this well. It's important. And also appreciate things in others, but in the self is also very helpful, because you're gonna love it, and you will be able to love others and other things in other people. Well, it says pick a daily behavior such as brushing your teeth, but that's just an example. You can pick up anything good about you, and as the time to remind yourself to be thankful for one of your best traits. So yeah, just remember a trait about yourself, and just be happy because you have it, because there are many other people who don't have it. Your smile, your ability of socializing, your ability of loving others, it's so important. So I'm sure everyone has something special about him and her, and I am like we should be very grateful for this. Well, about this, let us hear from you. What do you think you are like good at, or what is your trait that you are so proud of? Abu, what is the trait in you you love or you are proud of?
The thing that I appreciate about me is that people like to say that I'm a correct person, that I behave goodly with everyone and they can trust me. Yes, that's what they say about me.
Okay. Okay, that's wonderful. Well, also you have another trait that I can witness about, that is your ability of like making friends, and I feel all throughout the groups that people like you and people interact with you, and that's great. That's a good trait, social trait. Thank you for sharing this.
Yes,
Yeah.
And I appreciate about Abu that he's really helpful. And
I
when
think
you do that, Abu, I really appreciate it very much.
Yeah. So good. Sulaiman, what is your trait that you like about yourself?
That's a tough question to answer.
Well, well, maybe, yeah. True.
It
People
is.
don't like speaking for themselves.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Um, I agree. I have always, I'm used to say, people think that. It's really hard to say, I think this about myself. I don't know why, but yeah, true. Yeah, right, Rosemary. The other thing we can advise is to practice mindfulness. You can practice mindfulness practicing yoga, practicing a spiritual connection, sport. You can go have a trip in nature, or you can just go away from attractions and see around, wander, just see around and wonder how beautiful is this world, and how beautiful is nature and animals. And we advise you don't take your digital devices, because it's a distraction. Yes, judgment. Maybe the most how can I say, horrible things that we can do to people is to be judgmental right away when we hear their stories or we hear about them. We should never do this. We should listen. to others telling things, and the person, when they tell you things, it's actually to feel better. So just listen to them. You even don't have to tell them that they are right or wrong. Listening to them would help them. They know when they are right and they know when they are wrong, but they need this moment where they can be listened to without being judged. And I think that's so important. So hopefully we don't judge people. We just show understanding, or at least listening to them. It's important.
I've found it very helpful when I am judging someone and thinking about them as being not helpful, or thinking negatively about someone, that a very powerful question when I ask it to myself is, okay, if I were that person, if I had those same things going on in my life, what would I do? Most likely. And that I find is a good question, because it makes me realize, oh, if I had the same issues that I know that person is having, I'd probably do the same thing they're doing, that I'm judging them for. And that's really helped me to think more positively and to stop judging whether someone else is doing well or not doing well, or being good or not being good, or whatever judgment I'm engaging in. It makes me realize, oh, well, I probably wouldn't do as well as that person is doing. It's a good question to introduce the possibility of understanding rather than judgment.
Sure.
And judgment is not a friendly thing. Even when you are saying to someone, oh, you're great, it's still judgment. And judgment ends up in fear and in competition, like who's better. Well, nobody's better, nobody's worse. We have our problems and our strong points, and we all have stuff to work on. And we can all be wonderful when we think about the other person and understand where they're coming from.
Well, thank you for sharing this, Rosemary. Yes, sorry for interruption.
That's okay. I was going to say, when anybody leaves our life, then we think about, oh, this is what I'm going to miss when they're not here. So it's better to think about, oh, this is what I really appreciate about this person. Why don't I tell them? Because we all need to hear that we're appreciated.
Yeah. Hello, Victoria.
Yes. And Imran. Hello.
And Imran.
Good to see you all. We're talking about, what are we grateful for? That's the subject we started with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think it's we are grateful for a lot of things. Like, if I talk about myself, I'm grateful for my parents. Both are alive, they love me.
Sure.
I'm grateful for that I'm still breathing, which I'm not paying anything to the God. And there's a lot of other thing I can say, and I can't actually list it. It's not possible. We are, I think, we are do a very little, and if something comes to our, comes to our path, and if it's obstacle, and we started to complain, rather than we should, you know, have to be, we should have to give the credit to God to actually make this kind of a plan so that we can learn from those obstacles and make ourselves better. And the other things is I'm really grateful because probably I can because of my religion I really even it's a very close I mean it's more close to in even my heart and my and because of the religion I can control my emotion and I can control that how much materialistic thing I should use, like madam, especially the host ma'am said that when we go outside sightseeing, normally we use the device, try to as much memory as possible to take the selfie and those kind of, I don't know what is the logic if you don't enjoy this view rather than you just take the selfie. I don't understand them. It's like what I'm doing, like it's something so not pleasant to me. But of course, when you go with your friends, family, they always try to make the memory, you know. But I think rather than make the memory, you should enjoy on that time because now you are visiting some beautiful places. And I'm really grateful for because I am a little bit, not that much, a very small percentage of myself that I can understand that God, you know, in my personal journey, I think even my mom, even my dad, even everything that give me life, even if I, sum up all the thing, it's not even very close to that how much God love me. That's the most incredible thing I can understand. And if people can understand these things as a God loves him, and that is the bottom line, just if anybody can understand this small thing, I think it's enough for anything. So I'm really grateful for that. Still, even the kind of bad word, bad deed, sin, whatever the words I put, the amount of deed I do, still that God doesn't give me the punishment still now. And I believe that I'm trying to better myself. Yeah, it's just amazing to, I think it's amazing to, live in this world as a human being, not an animal, cow, and whatever. Those doesn't have anything. I think the thing I have a right to choose whatever I want, but of course, it's just the world is beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful people outside. Don't try to just avoid the fake noise. You will be good. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing all
Right.
of these thoughts and feelings with us. Well, before asking Victoria to share something today, I'd love to share with you a practice that I used to do. I always do when I feel bad, and then I want to feel better. So I want to be grateful for the things I have. At this moment when you feel like, when you have this, if you are in an open space and it is suitable, I used to lay down on the ground, arm open, and close my eyes and just feel everything around, and cut off from everything materialistic or all the angriness that was in me. And laying down, it's so, because your body is connected to earth and your spirit is connected to up. So you are between two wonderful things. You feel happy. I experienced it, and I want to share it with you. Next time you can also experience and tell me if it works for you as well.
I think that's a great idea. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing. I just forget the name, so if you just don't mind, could you please tell me your name? Yeah, I just forget your name.
My name
Sabrina.
is Sabrina.
Yeah, Sabrina. Oh, sorry. Sabrina is a very beautiful name. Okay. So I think sometime, I don't know, I don't know, is it relatable to you? So if anybody give me some advice, sometimes it's hard for me to concentrate my study, and then, you know, I cannot like control my, how can I say, you know, the desire of my body, and sometimes I do bad things. So if anything that I can, you know, that I can be, and that's helped me to come over those things. If anybody wants to give me advice, I'd be very happy, and I'd be very thankful to all of you. Okay. Thank
So
you
if
for
I
listening to me.
understood well, you want to have advice or tips about overcoming physical attraction while you are studying, or I am afraid I didn't get it well. Can you put it in other
Oh,
words?
I'm saying like, you know, sometime, not all the time, like sometime in a week, sometime I feel, so my physical desire in certain level, uh, and you know, I did something which is not very good for my health, also for my mind. So on that particular thing, what should I do? Like, is there any process that actually helped me to, you know, come out those things? And I just don't want to trap on those things, but you know, it's hard for me to control my emotions and everything. So sometime I was falling the trap. So I'm trying very best for myself, but it's not working. I use a lot of different methods. So I'm just asking if you have anything, and I'm very thankful to if you gave me some message and if it's worked for me. Yeah,
Well,
for
I think
everyone.
Rosemary is the best fit to answer you, because she teaches. She is a teacher of all what you have mentioned: emotions, awareness, and so Rosemary, go ahead, please.
Well, I would say that in general, when, you know, we have needs, we have other physical needs. We get hungry, we get tired, and the principle that we need to be aware of is, okay, I need to take care of what I need for myself, but in a way that does not harm anyone else or me. So, you know, whatever we need to do, we need to figure out a way to do it that is not harmful. And
Well, yeah.
the needs that I can imagine that you're talking about, they're natural needs. So if you have ways to satisfy those needs that don't harm anyone, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's not harming other person, it's harm myself. Like, how can
And
I
it's not,
put,
you know, if you
it's
were
like
to,
spiritually, you know,
right,
deviate me from the place I want to reach.
right.
Yeah, so it's
So
like I
then,
can understand it, and it's not something that happened unconsciously. It's a very consciously doing something which is very wrong that I can understand. So that, you know, which is a very like sinful deed in terms of, because you know, not just in a religious perspective but also perspective of myself, to develop myself. So I just don't want, like, you know, consciously or unconsciously, whatever the way, I'm just block this road. But because of, I don't know, just it's an unhealthy thing. So I'm trying to get as much as advice from any people, even if he is like, is like not in my age, probably is or she is, younger than me, I also go there and try to, hey, do you have any idea, or should I do something? Should I, practice something to improve that situation? Yeah, that's it. Okay,
And
madam,
the other aspect is that balance is important. In other words, as you said, when I do things that bring me satisfaction in spiritual ways, in kindness, in being out in nature and feeling peace, any one activity that becomes something that you do for instead of doing other things. That also is something that you probably want to find a more balanced way of getting satisfaction in life, not just from any one activity or choice. And it's not something that's really easy to talk about in general, other than those general principles. So if you want to have a conversation in person, one-on-one, I can, talk with you more. But those are the general principles of healthy living. And the other aspect of everything is that we don't want to do anything that takes away from somebody else or that harms them in any way. Okay.
So, Imran, if you want to speak more or share more about yourself, because Rosemary, here we are in a meeting, she is giving you answers according to the general principle of healthy life and healthy attitudes and behavior. If you want an in-person meeting, then after this meeting, you can text me on WhatsApp and I can see the schedule of Dr. Rosemary. I can put you in contact.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Thank you. I'll probably try to contact. I mean, madam is so busy, but let's see.
Well, if this is gonna help you for your life balance,
of course.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. Well, the person we haven't heard from is Victoria. Well, Victoria,
she knows what's coming.
Well, I love your face. It's really peaceful. Victoria, here before you came, we spoke about 3 things. First of all, we shared a list of gratitude that Lizzie, Lizzie is an LP member, peacemaker, and Rosemary's daughter, and she has an experience Rosemary can tell us as I am passing the picture. So what is for you also, what can you add to this list? Maybe you want to share. Second thing, what gesture of gratitude or what action you think about when you want to make someone happy, or when you want to show your gratitude to your students or to your colleagues or to your partner? What do you usually think about as action? I will be passing the photo while listening to you.
Are you guys listening? When I think of this while I was listening to you guys, I just one of the most grateful gestures that I have is kind of serving people. So only yesterday I was home. I was a little down because I wasn't too much with energy to do anything. But then a friend of mine asked me if they could come have dinner here with me. So the fact that I could cook to someone else, it burst me with energy. So it kind of, I felt it grateful to have someone else to share the news with me. So I this energy and great gratitude just kind of grew. And I went there. I didn't have a lot of things because I don't have been usually cooking at my house these last few days, but I just prepare what I have, and it was very good to have someone to share the meal with it together.
Yes.
Usually is the way I feel grateful is by doing some acts of serving. It's how I show people how I love them. A long time ago, not so long, I didn't have a lot of control about this because it was a limited problem that I used to have. I still working on it, so I didn't didn't know how to say no. So sometimes I did some things for people that I kind of didn't want to do it, but I just used to do. And then I felt guilty about it because I didn't really want to do it. But when I start to learn when I wanted to do it and that it was okay to do it for those peoples, and it was okay to say no to, that start getting better, and those acts become more pure like that, because they were more filled with my love and my gratitude for those persons in my life.
Wonderful.
So, talking about being grateful for people in our lives, think about someone that you are grateful to have in your life and make a resolution of what you're going to do sometime in the next day, next 24 hours, to tell them, to let them know that you appreciate them just for being in your life and for being who they are.
For me, this is kind of easy because lately the one person that I'm most grateful is Marcelo, that I told you guys about it, is the one, just my best friend here. And
okay,
I care for him and he cares for me. We are we are best friends, but we are more like brothers and sisters.
okay.
And
so just think about what you'd like to say or do for that person and or to that person to let them know, hey, I really am grateful for you in my life.
Yes.
It's good to think it. It's better to share it.
Yes. Also, I am too grateful for you guys, you and Sabrina. I love to be present. And I feel like I know you guys just a little bit more from a year, and just as as online meetings, but I feel very close to you guys. I don't know why, but I feel I feel like that for you, and I'm grateful that I could meet you guys.
Well,
Thank you.
Me, I feel that if there wasn't all those kilometers between us, I would just jump and pass by. You would prepare for me coffee or meal. And Rosemary all the others, but you know, it feels that close. I agree to your idea because it feels that close, but you know, it's just geographical distance. What can we do?
Yeah, right. It's a reality. And we can still tell people how much we appreciate them for being who they are.
Exactly.
And when you do that for someone, what a gift it is. It is so powerful. It's one of the best things you can do for somebody. So think about one person that in the next 24 hours, you're going to say, gee, I really appreciate you. You've seen lots of ways of saying that, or you can do something. There's no right or wrong way to act or to be appreciative. And
Well,
that would be a wonderful outcome of this conversation.
Well, with this reflection that Rosemary leaves us with, let's really, after this meeting, think about this person and think about what we're going to say and do it. The most important is to do it. I was very happy to having all of you here, and I am looking forward really to having you next month with a new topic of discussion. In the meanwhile, have a look on the LP Now calendar to see what's going on. There are new things you can go and see, and if you have any curiosity or integrity about a program or detail, you can still contact us and ask about it. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for sharing this moment, and see you soon.
Yes. Thank you all for being
Thank you very
here and sharing with us.
So,
It's wonderful.
Thank you.
yes. Can I? Oh,
Thank
just
you, Bob.
okay.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
all. Bye-bye.